Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about why I love Lucifer, the TV show. And I'm definitely going to have to specify that in the title, I'm sure I am. But yeah, today's video, I just want to talk about the show Lucifer. The reason why I'm throwing in, doing this now also because obviously Lucifer final season premiered last, well, literally a week ago at the time of me recording this, but probably even more so when this goes up because it's probably not going to go up to Wednesday. But really quickly, like, if you've never seen Lucifer and you're curious, like, what is Lucifer about? Well, 5 years ago, prior to the beginning of the series, the devil decided, you know what? I'm going on vacation from ruling hell and stuff like that. So he comes to Earth, specifically Los Angeles, and he kind of starts running a club and just having fun on Earth until a friend of his gets murdered and he crosses paths with a detective named Chloe Decker, and they work together to solve her case. And Lucifer, finding a lot of interest and fun in it, decides, hey, I'm gonna start doing this on a regular basis. So he starts consulting for the LAPD, and him and Chloe work together to solve mysteries. That's the crux of the story. So yes, the show has a very procedural element to it, and that's only part of the show. The other aspect of it is, hey, Lucifer is trying to figure himself out and starts to go to therapy, and then obviously you add in other celestials like the demon that kind of serves him, Maze, and her journey throughout the course of the series, his brother Amenadel, kind of like God's chosen angel, and just like his interconnected relationships with all the other characters, Linda, his therapist, Ella, who's kind of like the forensic expert, in the team, Dan, Chloe's ex, who's also a cop, and just obviously that's its own issues in its own right, but just everyone in his vicinity and just his relationships with these people, because that's what makes this show awesome. Like I said, you're looking for police procedural crime drama, you got it. You looking for some fun, the show that's funny and have a bit of a fun time, you got it in this show too. You want a show that's going to hit you with some drama and also bring tears to your eyes, you got it with this show, because this show hits you in the feels. There have been moments this show has brought me to tears. I've done reviews where I've talked about the fact is, oh, this made me cry. This season, that being the final season, the sixth and final season, and stuff from last season, just to name a few examples. But that in itself is what makes this show so awesome too, because aside from just being fun and just, it has a lot of heart to it, because there's almost it has an interesting mental health approach, because it's literally the devil has a lot of insecurities and deep-seated issues that go back millennia, and it's him dealing with. I mean, he has daddy issues to the up the grave. Not just daddy issues, family issues. He has issues with his mom, his other fellow angel siblings, and the way people have their perspective on who he is as the devil. Because obviously, if you're unaware, this is also based on the characters specifically from the Vertigo / DC comics, but obviously this doesn't go the same direction, because that's a lot about him. It's a similar beginning, but obviously the procedural element is what they added for the show. But him being on Earth, kind of deciding to leave hell behind, that's kind of the crux, at least, of some of his stories. Lucifer is the one kind of taken from the comic series Sandman, but once again, there's kind of been a lot done on those fronts, but still, so all of it mainly takes place here on Earth, bounces into hell and heaven a little bit, obviously, like I said, a celestial element to things, but it's just a ridiculously good show. It is just amazing from top to bottom, and I'm so happy for the show too, because if you're coming across this, maybe you've never seen Lucifer, maybe you have and you already know the information, but if you're unaware, Lucifer was canceled because it originally was on Fox. It got canceled after its third season, but then Netflix, with enough fan support and outcry, the show was saved, and and it got 3 more seasons on Netflix, which I'm there are plenty of shows that sadly don't get a second chance. I've done plenty of videos, a handful of videos about I have a whole series of videos called Bring It Back, shows I want to see get a second chance. Not every show is lucky to get that, and the fact is that this show was able to not only come back, but come back for 3 more seasons. That is amazing, especially getting the final season we got. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but oh my god, that ending, all the feels. But you get what I'm saying? I'm glad, because I've talked about it before. There could be an alternate universe where we never got those next 3 seasons, that Lucifer just stayed canceled. But I'm glad that the show had an opportunity to play out the way it did, and I loved every step of this journey. And it's something at some point, I am going to rewatch the entire series, because I have not seen season 1 and 2 1, 2, and 3. I've only seen them once when they originally aired, so I've not seen them multiple times like I have 4 and 5. I've seen 4 and 5 twice. I've only seen 6 once now, but I plan to like rewatch the entire series because it's just so good. There's just so much fun, like I said, and like heartfeltness to it. Like the show is so like sincere in what it does, but also having fun and telling these very compelling and complicated stories because you think you know the devil when you actually don't. You know, and I think that's what makes the show so amazing. So, to anyone that's, if you're coming across this video and it's like, you've never seen Lucifer, maybe you caught 1 or 2 episodes, you're like, I watched a couple episodes, I felt, it's like, no, change that. Like, I will push so hard for this show because I legitimately love it, and I think it's worth any and everyone watching because I think it's so much fun, and like I said, I think there's so much heart to it that makes this show something special. So, yeah, like, you know, now it's the perfect time to watch the show. The entire series is done, all of it. It's all 6 seasons are on Netflix. Carve out some time and binge this show because it's so worth it. I love it so much, and like I said, grateful to the actors, the creators, everyone involved with this project from top to bottom. I love them so much for giving us the show we've always kind of known, and, you know, having, you know, people come back for like when, you know, got picked up by Netflix. So that's enough of me spending this entire video gushing about Lucifer. If you ever want to hit me up about Lucifer, I'm always happy to talk about the show if you're someone who's already watched all of it, or maybe you find this video well into the future and you're like, oh, like I started watching the show and I love it. You'll always feel free to hit me up. We can talk about some of our favorite moments and stuff like that. I'm always happy to have this type of conversations with people. So, but really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.